you guys don't know about Running Point, this is a show on Netflix that premiered, I believe it was last year, and they came out for another season, season two, same year, which is awesome. Like, by the way, very good timing. But this is a show, if you guys don't know, about kind of an exaggerated way of telling the Lakers, Los Angeles Lakers story, but in a very more dramatic comedy way. And I actually really like it. This stars Kate Hudson, Drew Tarver, and Scott MacArthur. And I honestly really like this show. Season one, the first episode, I was kind of like, oof, I don't know how this is going. And also, if you guys don't know, Jeannie Buss is also an executive producer, or she's just a producer on the show. If you guys don't know who that is, that's the owner, or used to be owner of the Lakers. She's pretty much in charge of the Lakers, and I believe Kate Hudson's character is based off of her, which I think is awesome. But if you guys don't know, this is just a exaggerated version of the Los Angeles Lakers story in another world where they're called the Los Angeles Waves instead. But the first season was pretty good. First episode had me a little shaky. I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch the rest of this, but then something happens where I want to see how it plays out. And obviously that was the hook that kept me on. But I was very impressed with how they were talking a couple of things involving basketball. And I was really loving the family dynamic that they were showing. Because if you guys don't know, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Buss family owned the Lakers. And the whole thing that the Lakers would sell is that they're a family-owned group. And not a lot of teams do that. Usually it's a big billionaire or somebody who's like a CEO of a company that buys a team. And then they own them. And they have a GM who helps out with this and that. But the Lakers had a family where it's like, oh, we're all going to help here. Scouting department, we're going to help there. We're going to help with trades. We're going to help with money managing, stuff like that. So it was really like a family business, which is really cool. And that's what this show was kind of like. And I love the dynamic they have. I love Kate Hudson, Isla Gordon, who ends up becoming the general manager of the team because her brother gets into some stuff, and she just starts turning the team around. I think that's a really cool story. It got a little bit more unrealistic, obviously, with some of the basketball things. Like, this is an exaggerated show. It's not going to have exactly an exact way of how GMs and people own a team, but they're going to have fun with it, which I think is the point, and which is what got me back into the show. Season two, because if you don't know, in season one, it ended with them losing in the first round of the playoffs and don't get to go on. But season two continues that story where they're trying to get some redemption. And in the meanwhile, they do tell you a really good story about like the players on the team, and they give you a good idea of who they are and what they are. But the more impressive thing is just how they cover the work environment and how everybody works together to accomplish this goal. Sandy and Ness Gordon, played by Scott MacArthur and Drew Tarver, are two people who I really were impressed with in season two. Ness is one of my favorite characters besides Isla Gordon, because Isla Gordon obviously is my favorite. Like, she's funny. She's playing Jeannie Buss, and I like Jeannie Buss, so I'm not going to hate, except for that thing she did with Alex Caruso. But getting back to it, I love the sibling love that they show throughout the show. And I love Sandy's character along with Ness because they're just very funny, especially Ness. He's just out of control. And in this season two, like, they were crazy in season one, but season two they get a little crazier. In a good way, though. Like, Ness steps up for the family in ways that I think were impressive, because at first I thought he was just a goofball who didn't really know too much when it came to basketball, just like the older brother, which I'm forgetting now, but I believe the older brother's name was Cam Gordon. That's what it was, Cam. I don't know how I forgot, but I just love the family dynamic, and I love Ness. I love Sandy. I love Isla. Cam, I mean, obviously he's supposed to get on your nerves, but I love how there is that whole family dynamic that they're all going after each other. But season two really showed that they can be together and that they do have brains. Because in season one, they showed a lot of them doing dumb stuff, which just drove me insane. But season two, I just loved how they were together on a lot of things. Another bright star in this show that shined even more in season two. She was very good in season one. She was even better in season two. I'm giving that to Ali Lee, who was played by Brenda Song. If you guys don't know who that is, It's Lyndon Tipton. Come on, you guys can't know who Lyndon Tipton is. Come on. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. She kills it. I'm actually very happy that she is in this show because she's like one of the biggest basketball slash Lakers fans. And I love how she's involved in this show. And I mean, you always see her in the post. You always see him out of the blue, just like finding her in the crowd. And like, I think they had her mic'd up a couple of times when she was shouting in the games and stuff, cheering for the Lakers. But I love how she's in this, and she is pretty much she's Isla Gordon's assistant. And she does a very good job at it, but she's also very funny. When her, Ness, and Sandy are in their own random craziness, it's unbelievably funny to me. Like, I know a lot of people probably aren't going to be identifying the same way with me on this show, but I find it very funny, like, with her and with the family and how they, like, what their chemistry is like. But in season 2, she was very good. There was a moment in the show where I was kind of weirded out, though, at the start, because they had her character leave to go to a different team, even though it did make sense for what she was doing. But I wish she kind of stayed with that team and then ended up coming back later to help with the Los Angeles Waves, because it just felt awkward that she was there for, I believe, 1 or 2 episodes, and then Isla comes in town, speaks with her, going like, "Hey, I miss you. I hope you were to come back." And I think it was just too quick for Ali to just be like, "Yeah, I'm leaving. Screw this team. I'm never coming back. Bye." I just wish it was longer, where, like, I know they did show scenes where they did miss each other, but I wish she could have maybe done something a little bit more dramatic in Toronto. That's the team that she went. And I wish she was a little bit more, like, scheming with it. Like, maybe that was the team they were competing with, going into the finals or whatever, and maybe she could steal some secrets, or maybe there was some drama that she could take off of it. Because the reason why she went there is because the Toronto owner that they had there was a person that they characterized as, "Hey, I get what I want, and I keep what I want whenever I want," and that's why he wins all these championships, yada, yada, yada. And I thought I would have liked it more if they could have taken him down some way, if they could have been able to figure out how he does his certain things, and then maybe bring it back to the Waves. But there wasn't really anything like that. It was just a couple of jokes at Canada, which, I mean, I get. Dodgers, we joke around about them all the time. Go Dodgers. But I just wish there was a little bit more of a story there, because I thought it was cool the way they introduced the Toronto GM in, and I thought it would be a little bit more pivotal to the story. It just felt like it was a 2-episode, like, oh, she's over there, like, in her own spot, away from her friend Isla, and that was it. But I just wanted more from that story arc. There's a lot of characters that shine in this show, like Jackie Marino, played by Fabrizio Guido, I believe. Marcus, he's funny in this. I think he has way more moments in the show as well. But the person who I did not expect to get way more of the spotlight, because at first it was Travis who we had the spotlight on, Travis and Marcus a little bit in season 1, but Dyson, the character in the show, had way more of a turning point and way more of a serious role in this. Like, he goes from being the kid that Isla Gordon finds from the little G League that they have to becoming the next rising star of the Los Angeles Waves, which I thought was really cool. The way they had Travis, I still thought he was an interesting character. I think this fit for him, but I don't know. I think it was smart having Dyson be more of the person with this, because I think I know in this story, like, there's not a lot of times like the rising star shines over the superstar that's already there, aka Marcus. But Marcus had his moments, especially towards the end of the show, which I thought was really cool. But Dyson, it was just really cool to see him have way more of a story. Hey, you brought me up in this league. I'm performing over my budget or my current pay. I need to get a raise. And I thought that part of the story was really good. But it was just very impressive that they continued that on with, like, talking about the way he plays, talking about a relationship he was in, and even speaking on his game and how he could change that. Because I know the whole thing in last season was he doesn't want to do granny shot, even though that's the only way he could shoot free throws. But I really like this character in this season, and I was honestly very hooked throughout. One thing I want to say about Jackie Marino's character, he kind of took a step back, and I was kind of shook by that. Like, he was a big part of season one, a very big part, because if you guys don't know, his character ends up. It gets revealed that he is the offspring of the owner of the Gordon. The Gordon. He's a Gordon. And that was the thing that kept me in the show. This season, he kind of took a step back, and he just had so many funny moments. And I know this kid. I know him because I don't know if he's a kid. I don't know how old he is, but I thought he was incredibly funny in the Iglesias show, or Mr. Iglesias. I thought he was unbelievably funny. So many of his one-liners that he had were incredibly like on point and just fit so well. And that was literally how it was in season one. He was just very funny out of the blue for no reason. And season two, he still does have those moments sometimes, but he's a little bit more established. He's obviously, I mean, he's always been cool both times, but I do think he did take a step back. But it probably was the right move. Probably was, because there's probably going to be more moments where he's going to be messing up, doing this, doing that, like he was in season one, especially in season three. But I still think what they did was right, because they did shine a light more on Dyson. They did, obviously, Isla's the main character, so they gave us a good story of her. But the family and what they showed and how they were trying to accomplish their goal, winning a chip, I thought it was really cool. And I liked it. I liked what Netflix did. Spoilers, though, the way the story ends, and even the thing they were doing with Jay, along with Lev, I was a little bit into it. I was kind of like there for, I'm cool with however you want to go, whether you're staying with Jay, whether you're going with Lev, whether you're marrying Lev, whatever. But it was fine. But I think the one thing that really gets to me, or really makes me excited for season 3, is, if you guys don't know, in this season, Cam Gordon, who was the original GM of the Los Angeles Waves, he had to go because he had a drug problem. Very bad drug problem. Middle of the season, he gets caught for embezzling $2 million or something like that from the team to do, I believe he was buying more drugs. But either way, everyone finds out about it, the whole family, and they kick him out of the organization. He is not allowed to work with the Los Angeles Waves anymore. And I thought that was interesting, because I was low-key wondering if maybe he has a redemption arc, maybe he gets over his drug addiction, maybe him and Isla find a way to work together. No, they were butting heads the whole time, so they obviously had to let him go. They obviously had to, because he was sabotaging the team. Craziest thing is now, they win the chip. This is literally the last 5 minutes of the show. They win the chip. Everything's going good. They have a couple issues they got to face going in next season. But then an announcement comes on the TV to end the season. And it's that there's two bad things. One, a new team in Los Angeles is being made. Owner is fully involved, and the owner chooses to have the GM be no other than Cam Gordon. Cam Gordon. And if that isn't already a shot to the heart, the coach of the team, who was also a part owner of the team, is Jay Brown. And I was just so taken aback, because I'm like, why would you, in my head, I'm thinking, why would you leave the Boston team you were coaching, where you just went to the finals, to go coach in Los Angeles? But obviously it's for the drama. It's for the fact that he's trying to get back at Isla. Maybe he found out about certain things, I don't know, but I thought that was very funny, and I thought that I'm just wondering if that's probably the Los Angeles Flippers. I call them the Flippers. You guys know them as the Los Angeles Clippers, but they're probably the Flippers of the league, and I wonder if they're going to throw any jabs at them, because they throw a lot of jabs at Boston, which I love, me being a Laker fan and all, but I wonder if they're going to make them a respectable LA team, or if they're going to make it where they're just competing the same way with the Los Angeles Waves. And I don't even know. I'm just so curious to see what they do for season 3, if they are getting a season 3, because once again, this is a Netflix show. Netflix, historically, factually, statistically, is always weird when they're trying to renew shows. So I don't even know if this could get a season 3. If it ends here, okay, end it on a good note. We won the chip, end it. But if they do get a season 3, I'm going to love to see the jokes that they throw, especially if it's going to be a lot of the Los Angeles Clippers jokes and everything. Even if they try to bash it a little bit more. I'm just curious to see how they play this off. If it's going to be two really good teams in Los Angeles fighting back and forth, or if it's really going to be, oh, this team is the best team in LA, that other team's trash, and just see what happens. But I'm so curious, and I just want to say I like this show. I liked it. Season 1, I gave it like a 6, 7, a little bit, like range, probably more on the high 6 area. But this season, I'm gonna go with a higher 7, maybe even an 8. I'm gonna go with a 7.8. I really liked it, and I would definitely binge this again. This is an easy watch. All of these episodes are like 24 minutes, maybe even 28 at most, and they're 10 episodes each, and they're easy to watch. Easy and simple. You don't have to know basketball to watch this show. You don't. It's very enjoyable just to even, like, they don't even explain that much basketball stuff. Like, they do explain certain things, but it's definitely not point to point. You can watch this and enjoy it, especially for the drama, especially if you want to see a girl boss doing girl boss things. But I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I highly recommend you watch it if you want to watch a drama, even a family drama, or even just a comedy that's just funny for no reason. I like it, and I would suggest it to you guys.